They say the morgue is where the living fear to enter, but the dead never leave. It was midnight. Inside the city's oldest morgue, 5 friends had just finished their shift. This was the place where life and death were separated by nothing more than a thin veil. Bodies arrived every night, and these 5 prepared them for their final rest. They laughed, they joked, trying to forget that they were surrounded by silence and corpses, but deep down, each of them carried the same fear, the fear that not all bodies in this building stayed dead. That night, 3 friends left first, their laughter fading into the dark corridor. Upstairs, only to remain. One whispered, "Brother, I'll leave in a few minutes. Just check the locks before you go." Then he headed toward the exit, but halfway out, he froze. "My keys. I left them inside." He turned back into the cold, shadow-filled morgue. Downstairs, the last friend saw the main door wide open. Annoyed, he muttered, "Unbelievable. They didn't even shut the door." Without thinking twice, he locked it from the outside, never realizing his friend was still inside. The man eventually found his keys. Relieved, he hurried toward the door, but when he tried to leave, clang, the lock didn't move. His heart sank. He was trapped. Panic set in as he banged on the door. "Hey, I'm still in here. Open the door." His cries echoed into the emptiness. Minutes turned to half an hour. His screams grew weaker. The cold seeped into his bones, and in that room of the dead, he began to feel like one of them. Then suddenly, a voice. "Is someone in there?" His heart leapt. "Yes, I'm locked inside. Please help me." "I'll try to open it," the calm voice replied. The lock rattled, the door creaked open, and light spilled in. He stumbled out, tears in his eyes, clutching the stranger's hand. "You saved my life, brother." "Thank you. What's your name?" The man smiled faintly. "My name is John. I was on duty upstairs. I heard your screams." Shaking, he whispered, "John, if you hadn't been there, I would have died tonight." John's smile lingered. Surviving the night wasn't easy, not for either of us. The next morning, all 5 gathered. The man burst out, "Which one of you locked me in as a joke?" Confused, they stared. "We didn't lock you in," one admitted. "I locked the door, but only because I thought you were gone." "No," he cried. "Someone saved me. A worker upstairs. His name was John." At that name, they froze. Then, nervous laughter. "John? There's no John here. The upstairs floor is empty." His blood ran cold. "No, I spoke to him. He opened the door himself." "Then go find him," they said. "Show us." He ran upstairs, asking everyone, "Is there anyone here named John?" The answer was the same. "No. No one by that name works here. No one ever has." Just then, a grieving family entered. "We've come to collect our loved one." Drawer number 311. The 5 walked to the drawer. Slowly, they slid it open. Unfroze. Inside lay a corpse. Pale skin, lips curled into a faint smile. Eyes wide open, staring. It was John. The man staggered back. "No, this is impossible. He was alive. He opened the door. He spoke to me." His friends whispered. "Maybe, brother." John came back. "Only for you," he screamed and bolted out of the morgue. "I quit. I'll never step foot in that place again." Because that night, he learned the truth. Not all who lie in the morgue are dead. Some never stop their duty. If this story chilled your spine, like the video, share it with your friends.
They say the road keeps secrets. Imagine a highway swallowed by fog, a single truck cutting the dark like a restless animal. The driver is young, reckless, drunk on speed and the clean thrill of night. Ahead, an old foxy hums along, stubborn, small, a relic glowing under an honest moon. For a moment, the world is only metal and motion. Then the world tilts. Tires clip metal. The foxy spins and disappears into the ditch. Flames lick at the trees. The truck halts. Heart pounding, the driver stares into the black. There is nothing but bent metal and night. He tells himself it was an accident he could not fix. He drives away. He buries the moment. He thinks no one knows. He is wrong. Years pass. The police recover the charred Foxy. Inside, a body burned beyond recognition. Time moves the world on, but it does not erase what was left behind. The driver grows older. His son grows into the same blood, the same hunger for a wheel and the open night. When the boy begs for his first car, the father says, "Start small. Learn." A friend in Great Falls finds a restored Foxy shining as if it opened its eyes again. Father and son buy it, laugh, clutch the keys. The boy sits behind the wheel for the first time. He presses the brake and the brake laughs back. The pedal sinks. The engine surges. Doors lock. Handles seize. The radio hisses like a breath pressed close to an ear. The road feels wrong, like a memory pulled taut. The Foxy chooses its way. With a heartbeat, it turns toward the same curve, the same ditch, the same dark forest from long ago. The father grabs the wheel. The son screams. Everything narrows to the rising pitch of the engine and the impossible fact that the car is not just a car tonight. A face appears in the rear view, not a mirror image, but a man, blackened, hollow, a shape of ash and waiting. He sits in the back seat like a wound that never closed. His voice is wind through dry twigs. "You hit me." He tells them how he burned and how he waited, how one choice, one simple act, could have changed everything. The father stammers an apology that tastes like smoke. The specter answers quietly, "What kills isn't always the crash. It is the leaving." The Foxy's speed climbs. The father tries to swerve away from the forest's mouth and finds himself steering back to the exact place the charred car fell 22 years ago. Ahead, fate comes on four wheels. A truck bearing consequence. The burned man looks at the boy, then at the father. The father begs, "Spare him." The ghost says, "Forgive me." For one brief moment mercy is possible, but mercy does not rewind the clock. The road is a judge with no appeal. A razor movement, the Foxy makes an impossible cut and shudders to a stop. The back door opens. The burned man steps out as if waking from a long night. He does not come for blood. He comes for truth. He asks why he was left to die. The father covers his face and, with a voice small as shame, says what he should have said years ago. "I was scared. I left." The ghost leans close, searching the father's eyes. He says, "If you had come, I might have lived." Then, in a voice that folds the years, he forgives not because the man deserves it, but because mercy can break a chain. He presses a hand over the boy's head, a benediction and a warning, and the shape fades like breath on glass. The father stands in the cooling air, with his son trembling by his side. For the first time, he knows the heavy cost of leaving a life behind. He quits the road that day, not because his engine failed, but because something heavier did. He walks away carrying guilt and the fragile gift of a second chance to be a father. The highway keeps its secrets. Some debts are not settled in courtrooms. They are settled at the edge of the dark, where the living and the dead trade old, honest truths. You can outrun speed, but you cannot outrun what you refuse to face. If this story sat on your skin like a cold hand, drop a like, share with someone who loves late night chills, and tell me in the comments would you have stayed. Must subscribe our channel and hit bell icon for more new videos. Thanks for watching.